We've been working quite a bit on the design of this interchange as well as some other ones, and let me bring you up to date as to what's been going on. So the reason that we need to do some work on the 66 and Stanley Street interchange, there's a number of reasons. The first one is that the bridge clearance at the interchange, the bridge is, at the time it was built, it was the standard for a local road. The bridge is at 14 foot 9 inches, and with some of the current traffic that's there and current standards, that bridge should be at 16 foot 9 inches for clearance. The bridge was hit twice in 2013 by drivers not paying attention to what they were carrying, and we would like to prevent that in the future. Second thing is that, as many of you are aware, northbound traffic coming off of I-39, getting onto 66 Stanley Street, there are significant delays and backups that do occur during peak hours at that location. Next thing, we've been asked by the city more than once that there are problems, concerns about the how the side road access at Green Avenue and North Pointe Drive. Because it's so close to the interchange, it's about 500 feet. There's a lot of near misses. There's a lot of delays if you're on the side street, and that needs to be addressed. Also, more than one person has addressed that there is some bicycle and pedestrian. First off, there is nothing going from the west or side of the interstate to the other side. There is nothing in place at this time, and those that do utilize that have commented that it is unsafe, and the Portage County plan for bikes and pedestrians also has this on their route. Also, the last thing is that there is some speed differentials that are going on here. The traffic is moving such that it creates some confusion, and when it comes to identifying gaps within the traffic flow, it doesn't make the operation work very well. So we have then been working, as I mentioned, for the last couple of years on to how to provide some solutions to this. We've looked at one first here, I'll give you a number of alternatives. A diamond interchange similar to what's currently there. In order to get the clearance, we would want to lower Stanley Street some, but also because of the need for the number of lanes that would have to be underneath with a traditional diamond interchange with traffic signals, we would also need to widen the structure underneath. Therefore, the bridges would have to be replaced, and in that case, we would also raise I-39 some as a part of that work. The second option that we has been looked at is a similar diamond interchange to what's currently there. We would lower Stanley Street and then put roundabouts at both the ramp terminals as well as the the Green Avenue intersection. I'm going to back up here to the earlier one here. One thing I want to make mention of is that the intersection here at Greene and North Pointe, because it is so close to the intersection with the ramp terminals, traffic signals at that location are not going to work, as well as having that access point in its place. There would have to be an access modification that we would be going with at least a full median across there, and then you either cul-de-sac or right in, right out, or something at that North Pointe Green Avenue intersection, and then there would be some costs associated with getting access to for the traffic movements that are not available anymore. Whereas if you go with a roundabout option, you would have full access for all movements. This would, to give you a similar instance, if you're familiar with the section of Highway 10 on the south side of Marshfield, where the 4-lane section of Highway 10 ends and takes a left to go to the south, there is at Old Highway 10, there is a roundabout at that location as well. That is at 500 feet as well. We had a similar discussion when we were trying to lay out that particular area. We were not going to be able to provide access at the Holiday Station or to to the older section of Highway, old section of Highway 10 there. The roundabouts did provide us that opportunity to do that, provide the access, as well as, since the has been in operation, we have not had any concerns as far as any poor performance from an operation standpoint. Another thing that I will bring up, the city folks had identified that there is a need for handling large trucks at this location, and the roundabout south side of Marshfield are designed for 170-foot loads plus, and we would be looking at large as here as well. Another option that we looked at would be raising I-39 only, again, just going with a traditional diamond with traffic signals. Then the fourth one, or what's called alternative 3, would be considered a single point urban interchange. I believe there's one of these in the Eau Claire area in the state of Wisconsin. In this case, basically there's one set of traffic signals that's located underneath the structure. All the movements then come to that single point, and then they're controlled at that location. When as I mentioned, we've been working for a couple years on trying to develop these strategies and come to a conclusion. We've conducted a number of meetings with stakeholders as well as the communities. The first meeting we had is November 7th. We met with the city of Stevens Point, Town Hall, Portage County, the municipal airport, our local officials meeting. The next one on November 13th, we invited UW Stevens Point, Century Insurance, as well as the adjacent businesses being Scafidi, Honda, and also Marshfield Clinic. December, we talked with the DNR, Park Department, Green Circle, as well as some other environmental agencies that we also invited. January 16th, we met again with the city, Stevens Point, UW Stevens Point, as well as Century Insurance. We had a local officials meeting. February 27th, we had a public involvement meeting. We invited about 200 people to that particular meeting. We had 17 attend. Mr. Wiesa, as well as Mr. Trebetowski, were in attendance, as well as people from the various in the neighborhood as well, Scafidis and others. And then again, we met with the city of Stevens Point again in July. So we put in quite a bit of effort trying to make sure that we understood what the needs of the city, as well as the adjacent owners, as well as the users. Some of the things we did learn through this, number one is that there are concerns about groundwater in the area, and that whatever we do, we must make sure that we don't, I guess, make anything worse than what the current problems are out there. Also, we must be able to address the large truck traffic that's in the area. We've been in contact with Scafidi Truck Center. We understand that they, of course, they have semis coming and going every day, but in addition, their largest load that they have to handle would be a semi-sized tow truck towing a full semi with a trailer. They say they get those maybe once a year, maybe 3 times a year, but we need to be able to handle a vehicle of that size. Access management will certainly be a costly affair if we have a situation where we would making some access modifications at the Green Avenue and North Pointe intersection. There are some opportunities for improving the bike and pedestrian accommodations. Also in our discussions from the city, as well as some of our folks, possible having a park and ride lot at the airport, near the airport entrance. It has a lot of potential for providing people they can utilize them as people normally do, but also could park there and then use that to get into the university or provide some other opportunities as well. And also, we've learned that, or the things that we have learned, that Some things we need to make sure we address, that would be the local access at the Green Avenue, North Pointe Drive intersection. The bridge clearance is something we need to, of course, do something about. Ramp operations, we need to make sure that these things operate efficiently and effectively so that we don't have problems caused on the interstate. If we can do something that will help address the speed differentials on Highway 66 and Stanley Street, and then also work out something that will help with the bike and pedestrian accommodations. The preferred alternative through the process, as I have already somewhat mentioned, is that a traditional diamond interchange, or the similar one that's there, but changing the ramp terminals and also Green Avenue to a roundabout type of intersection would provide the solutions that we're seeking. We would also lower Stanley Street and Highway 66 underneath the bridges. There is an opportunity to drain down south along the west side of I-39. We would be daylighting a few hundred feet south and going into the ditch system that's on the west side of I-39. Currently, this is not quite complete from a design standpoint. We have to the roundabouts that are here, they need some more, let's say, tweaking from, we have some experts from Orston, or now GHD, who design roundabouts nationally, and they would be giving some additional information as to the correct size, the correct angles, the things that are important to make a roundabout operate the way that it should. The ones here that are shown are actually larger than the ones that are south of Marshfield. Ultimately, they will be somewhat smaller, a little bit smaller than this, although until we actually get some more information from them, they're currently in review of these, so this drawing will change a little bit. Again, the preferred alternative that we have here, it would increase the bridge clearance by lowering Stanley Street, Highway 66. It would allow us to reconstruct the interchange ramp terminals with roundabouts, both improving operations and safety, as well as allow Green Avenue and North Pointe to remain open. The pedestrian and bicycle accommodations would be, we would be able to put it on both north and south sides in that area, and then with working with the city, we would like to construct a park and ride lot in the airport if at all possible. We had, as a part of our process, we had to do some additional work for the environmental document, which included some archaeological review, and then one of the questions that came up was whether or not, I guess the airport or FAA doesn't like you to sell land. However, they do allow concurrent use. So we've been working with Joel Lemke. He made a letter to the FAA in requesting whether or not there would be a possibility of having a park and ride and also this multi-use trail on the airport property along the roadway. And as I understand it, Joel, what they said is as long as the city and the airport feel that it would be a benefit to your facility, then that would be something that FAA would be willing to go along with. And I see you're nodding a yes on that. The proposed improvements for this interchange would be right around in the $5 to $6 million range. Some of the other improvements there would be listed in your handout, and they are more in the 10, 12 or more dollar range. Some property acquisitions will be required. Working with property owners is probably going to start maybe late in 17 or late in 16, early 17. We do have some resurfacing on the bridges over I-39. Those are scheduled for that work in 2016, just basically a bridge deck overlay. And then as far as the interchange work itself, we currently have it scheduled in 2019. These things are, with the state budget, moving around a little bit, but that's where it appears to be sitting right now.